Craft Weekly things. Interview? Oh, that's a good point. Winner's interview, do you reckon?
Yeah. I want to see why he did the mech thing
Yeah.
and what he thought about the expansion.
Have you got him on
Gift
Skype?
Death.
Yeah.
Uh,
Alright, he says he will.
oh. I'll add him to the call.
Sweet.
Hello, big boys.
What
Hello.
up?
You ready for a good time tonight?
Nope.
Yeah.
No thanks. No thanks.
What's up?
Congratulations.
Yeah, nicely done, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
Fucking good.
So tell us, what's the scouting that you do? In order
yeah,
to determine whether you play mech or whether you cancel your stim or not.
because we saw the cancelled stim.
Yeah, well, he takes like this really weird timed third and he doesn't go for a fast fourth and he adds roaches.
Yeah.
So he's going to shut down like a lot of your bio pushes, and there's a lot of really interesting stuff that happens on maps like Overgrowth, where in the mid game, Zergs don't really go too greedy, but what they do is they make these fucking disgusting armies with like Roach Bane Muta. And no matter sort of like what push you do, if you are on creep, you are fucked. And I thought that's what he was going to be doing there, so I just, yeah, I'm going to cancel my stim. I think mech units are better against roaches anyway, so let's play that game if you're going to do it. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. I want to see what army he's going for in the mid game, and then try to counter that bio or mech.
That's yeah, pretty spot on. Awesome. Okay, another question. Why do you hate
Yeah.
Ravens so much?
Yeah.
You make like so many battle cruisers and like 3 Ravens. I don't know. I
It's
haven't seen that really.
because if you go mass ravens, you can't really push. Because static defense and infestors and all that stuff, they're pretty good units, and they actually do pretty well against ravens. And you can't win a game of StarCraft if you don't attack, right? Unless
Unless
your
you're a villain.
opponent is completely retarded and your name is a Villo. Um,
It's true.
but I don't want to sit there for 2 hours and play Raven versus Swarm Host and like inch my tanks forward for fucking 40 minutes. Like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be playing mech if I couldn't go battle cruisers and I couldn't do the Gumiho style. But because I can, and because battle cruisers are actually amazing, it lets you basically sit some tanks to just kill the waves of Swarm Host shit, and then you can just move the Sky mech around the map, and it feels amazing. It's so beastly. It's actually going to be, I think, even better. My style of mech, or Gumiho's style of mech, I think it's going to be better after the patch, because we won't have to sit tanks back at home to defend waves of Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So on that last map, how did you feel about him taking the natural at his where his third should be?
I think it's good. And on any map where you do have a backdoor expansion, I think expanding first of all out the front is going to be better.
Yeah.
And the main reason for that is as soon as you've got queens out, you start spreading creep, right? But if you take the backdoor expansion, you're not going to start actually spreading creep out on the map until you take your third. So
Yeah.
you're like 4 or 5 minutes behind in creep spread unless you do it out the front. So I think it's fine.
I think you just have to babysit it a bit better. When those Hellions ran past the half wall and roasted everything.
Yeah, when
Oh, that felt so good.
when I saw him take that expansion, I said, like, how's he gonna deal with like a Hellion like suicide attack? And I didn't get that answer. Okay.
Yeah, you are supposed to fully wall that little laneway off, or you're supposed to have more like something Banelings, whatever. But he was distracted with the Banshee, and that was the plan. Like the Banshee
Yeah.
wasn't designed to do damage; it was the massive Hellions. And I just love keeping on making Hellions for about 11 minutes as well. Back in the day, you'd see Terran stop after 6, and they wouldn't make any more Hellions for the rest of the game. but they're so good, and you can just transform it into Hellbats and clear creep, and they really buffer the Marines before the Marines get combat shields too, and they let you actually move out on the map. So I'm a big fan of keeping on making them. I try and emulate Dream's TVZ style a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I watched a bit of him.
It's pretty good, man. I think Dream has the best TVZ in the world.
That's a big call.
It is a big
Yeah.
call, but if you watch his games, they are way better than Flash or Innovation. He just has the right units, the best possible unit combination pretty much at all times. It's amazing.
Yeah, it seems like a really strong style. Just having the ability to throw away the Hellions without sacrificing the Hellbats later on.
Yeah,
So much
that's it.
flexibility.
I don't really have any other questions.
Do we want to see if we can pull David on for a salty interview?
Oh yeah, how did you feel about the assault?
I was actually a bit surprised because I just went into this wanting to have a bunch of fun and just, play against someone that's pretty good. In a best of 7 scenario, I was just kind of using this as practice to get my builds out and play different styles. So I was just thinking we were having some fun, but yeah, the salt kind of surprised me.
Fair enough. Well, I don't know. You gotta ask him, Pox, if he wants to.
I'll just add him to the call and see what happens.
Deary me.
I don't think this is gonna go well.
Maybe not. Oh, I think he answered. Hang on. Maybe not.
No, he's pending.
Yeah, call
Cool.
failed. Alright, no David interview then.
I can't join because Mark is host.
Oh, and I see Philosopher said
Uh,
in chat, get my payment details. This was like $40, right?
Yep, that's right.
Because I'm just gonna pay that.
oh wait,
forward.
he can't join the call because man, I gotta add him.
Alright, sweet.
Let's pay that forward and let's set up like someone else to do a show match. Like I don't need that money, so let's set up like
Cool,
something
alright.
else and do the same thing moving forward.
Nice idea. Do you have any proposals for who it should be?
Oh fuck! I want to see Aegis versus Pig. If we
Oh,
could
yeah.
set up a Aegis versus Pig show match, that'd be pretty
That'd
sick.
be pretty sick. I'd chip in some extra cash for that too. Might see if we can get something
I'll
going.
happily cast it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
David, you there?
Yes.
Excellent. How salty are you?
Oh, very.
Alright, good.
I'm not very good against mech, obviously. And I thought I was just gonna get 4-0'd, like, in a row by mech.
It was looking that way for a little while.
I don't know, it also confused me. Like, I wasn't salty, I was actually... Because you go so many Hellions and Hellbats every game. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
have
pretty
to make
good.
roaches. Like, so it's a bit weird when... I don't know. You just...
Well,
Ugh.
I actually don't think you have to make roaches that early. I mean, you'd have to make roaches if I was committing to mech behind that, but you can just make 7 or 8, like literally just make 7 or 8 queens and have banelings in a spine crawler if you don't want to go roach. And that'll set you up for a different mid game. But I've really been struggling against the mid game style like roach bane muter if I do go bio. So if I see that you're not mass droning and you are making roaches and stuff, I don't feel as confident in going bio against that, which is just the reason why I canceled my stim and went mech on overgrowth. Because I was actually fully planning to go bio there, but I was just like,
How many
no, I
roaches did
probably
make
won't win.
on that?
I think you made about like 6 or 7. That's
That
what
was
I
a
saw.
standard third as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty standard third. I just wasn't sure if you were going to commit to like more roaches and
Yeah, I
and
was
go
just going
banes and
roaches
stuff.
because like, every game you make so many Hellions, and then if you do that weird Hellbat timing with the Marines and the Medevac, like you can't hold the third unless you have those early roaches. Because otherwise you just split for banelings, and then
You can
Or
actually
pick
hold
up.
it. You can hold it. You just need, as I say, like 7 or 8 queens, and that's what a lot of Zergs have been playing against on Korea do now. Like they don't go roaches. There was a period where they did, where if you play on a shit map like Expedition Lost, then you have to go roaches or you have to go 2-base Spire or something. But Yeah, build more
Secret
queens and
Spring is the
transfuses.
shittiest map.
Oh man, I actually haven't played Secret Spring at all on ladder. I just instantly downvoted it. That
Yeah,
map
I had
is a
ruled that
mistake.
off as a loss already before we played it.
It's so bad. Uh, and Inferno Pools, I still haven't played a single game on outside of like pre-patch practice TBT.
How come you put the natural where the third is? Was that for the creep spread?
Yeah, and the pocket expansion's retarded. All maps with pocket expansions are retarded.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to try out like a gasless style on that kind of map.
It's like I can't even like do a Ling Bane all-in on Secret Spring or a Ling Flood because he's got the pocket expand and the ramp's the tiniest thing ever.
Plus, I could even just do like a marine tank triple CC and be completely safe because it's a 1x1 ramp that you have to manage. It's fucked.
Yeah, so either I have to like I can't do a shitty all-in, so you have to play a shitty macro game on a map where your third's 10 miles away from your nat.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I don't think that any of the new maps are particularly good. I much prefer us to get some good shit from Korea again, because that was what really made Brood War feel so like vibrant and evolving. Is because you just had these teams that were making crazy maps and using all these different mechanics and stuff, and they were coming out every 3 or 4 months. You'd have a whole new map pool, and that was sick. But yeah, we haven't really had too much like that with Blizzard, and they're too scared to try too many new things.
I think a lot of it.
Mechanics.
I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that there's not as many like units that control space in this game. It's sort of just like a big army headbutting, you know.
Yeah, these big death balls. But they are going to be changing that up in Legacy of the Void because you have to take a shitload more bases, so the maps are going to be different.
What are both your opinions on the Swarm Host change? Like, if it
What
comes
is
in?
it?
They're making it to Legacy of the Void.
What, just flying and they don't spawn or they don't last as long, or they don't spawn as often?
They don't.
They last 30 seconds and they spawn once a minute. And the Swarm Hosts costs 100, 200, and 4 supply.
4, I don't know. I think Swarm Hosts are shit anyway. I hate them.
I think that it's actually going to make mech really viable. So it's going to be struggle city for a lot of Zergs until they learn how to adapt. I think it's going to come down to mass like roach switches into muter timings and stuff like that to make sure that mech can never get a ball or never get established. Because if mech does get established without Swarm Hosts to contend with, oh my god.
I think your style was pretty vulnerable to roach drops, as I was saying before on the call, because you go like pretty early third and double armory, so it's a really early roach drop might be able to kill it. But,
some roach timings where they kill a lot of the shit on the ground. They make you make tanks, means that you can't get the Thors out, and then they come across with like 20 meters as well.
Yeah, sort of like a ZVP style.
Yeah, those aggressive switches can be really strong. I think they are holdable. It comes down to how much damage I'm doing early game and what's going on.
What do you think about the PDD change? I mean, I guess it doesn't really affect your mech style there.
PDD change won't really change anything because I don't just sit there for very long. And turtle, like I don't play the Abilo style. So the only times I really use PDD is when I'm going into the engagement, and engagements in StarCraft 2 rarely last more than 5 seconds anyway. So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, PDDs won't really make that much of a difference, and we're not sitting there against Swarm Hosts anymore. So I really don't think I'm going to notice it.
What's the change? Is it less 20 seconds
20
less
seconds.
or 20 seconds?
It's 20 seconds overall instead of 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's like pretty huge nerf.
That's insane.
Oh, I don't know. Because like I said, if you still just put it down when you need it, it should be fine.
Yeah, it's more of a nerf to like a Villa, and people just sit there behind them.
Yeah, that's true.
But they do last. How long do they last now?
3 minutes.
Yeah.
So they still have the same amount of energy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it means in most situations they're going to be the same.
It just means that they're not there in the second attack if you haven't killed them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, turtle mech, nerf, good.
When is this change happening?
Well, they're testing it now. They're probably going to be getting through a fair chunk of like WCS Challenger and Premier, and then they might do it after testing, but I wouldn't expect it in the next month. Say like maybe March.
I don't know. I feel like Zerg's going to be pretty shit in like the top level versus Mech and Protoss super late game. I'm a bit worried about it.
Isn't Zerg already shit?
Yeah. That's true.
How many Code S players? 7. 7 Zergs in Code S around a 32.
Have you seen how Terrans have been dropping like flies as well?
Dude,
Everyone's own races.
I haven't been keeping up. But there's
Terran's
13 Terrans in the round of 32, man.
Shit.
Sorry,
Zerg's
let me
shit.
check what race I'm playing before I decide how the balance of the game is going.
Yeah. Alright.
What? There's only 3 Zergs that are going to the round of 16 so far. Oh shit! But there's only 2 Terrans. three Terrans. 3 Terrans.
So what we've determined is Protoss is pretty good.
It's also a really bad metric to judge balance like Code S players, and especially in the age where I think the biggest priority again in Korean StarCraft is Pro League, and then the individual leagues, KSSL and like GSL after that. But right now, I think most of the attention in those team houses is going to be going on Pro League.
Yeah.
So you might see some people hiding builds or just not as practiced as they would used to be going into that sort of series. And this happened in Brood War as well. GOM TB's leagues were basically a joke just because half the team houses didn't even participate in GOM at that time, and everyone was focused on Pro League still. I don't think it's as big a impact here, but I still do think it makes a difference, and it is a bad metric to judge balance.
Yeah, fair enough. I gotta make some lunch. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about.
I think that just about wraps it up, unless the players have anything they want to say.
I'm good.
Yeah, all good. Shout out to everyone that actually made a vote and gave some semblance of a fuck about this series. It was good fun. I had fun. Thanks for casting, guys. Thanks for playing MightyKiwi.
Yeah, thanks for answering the call.
Alright,
Alright.
we'll call
Thanks
it then.
everyone for watching.
See ya.
See you guys.
See you.